All right, guys, jumping right into another draft. If you want this draft, all you got to do is go on Steam if you're on PC and just type in 2008 Real Draft. You'll get this. All right, so let's jump into it, man. Right here, as you can see, Derrick Rose is at the top of the draft. For me, this is a little bit of revisionist history because I know that Derrick Rose became a better player than Michael Beasley. But at the time of the draft, I honestly think Michael Beasley, in terms of just talent, was a better player than Derrick Rose. I mean, in college, Michael Beasley, forgive me if I said Malik Beasley, I don't know, but Michael Beasley in college, playing for Kansas State, was a beast, doing it all. Um, yeah, he was just a beast. I thought he was going to carry over to the NBA. I was like, oh, that's going to be scary, but nah. No. I just think he got drafted by the wrong team. With Miami drafting him, I don't think that was the right place for him. But for a guy with his personality, yeah, he needed somewhere else. Let's see. Derrick Rose. So, yeah, he went to the University of Memphis, came out, and this was a great year for one and dones. Like, the main one and done guys, this was a great year for them because you had Derrick Rose, was coming out of Memphis, had helped to lead them to a Final Four, like the championship game, helped lead them there. They lost, of course, but I'm pretty sure they lost. Yeah, they lost to Kansas, I believe. So Derrick Rose, one and done guy. You all know the story. And yeah, he's only 82 here. Because he's 19. I mean, he still was he needed to learn how to shoot at this point. But yeah, his potential on here, I got his potential very high to a 92, I believe. All right, Brook Lopez, one of the Lopez twins coming out of Stanford University, really highly touted. Everybody know this man is very skilled when it comes to putting the ball in the hoop. Very smooth with it coming out of college. So I'm going to leave that at that. Michael Beasley, we already talked about him. Another one and done guy coming out of UCLA was Kevin Love. So this was around the time when Kevin Love was fat. I mean, let's just put it out there. He wasn't, he was fat. Okay. But the Minnesota Kevin Love, the man was a rebounding monster. And I couldn't believe, like, I mean, in today's game, we got a lot of guys that can shoot, stretch the floor. But I mean, the fact that he was he was fatter back then, and he was like pulling down all these rebounds, and then he'd be out there on the 3-point line just like shooting daggers. Oh man, I mean, he wasn't like super extraordinary in his rookie year, but like the years after that, I mean, this man was basically looked at as like him and Blake, like, are they the best power forwards in the NBA? Yeah, I mean, basically going back and forth. Right now, who is the best power forward in the NBA right now? I wonder. But yeah, anyway, back in the day when he was young, him and Blake, man. I mean, Blake was going in dunking on people, and this man Kevin Love was out there shooting like he was Dirk or something. I mean, dude was grabbing boys, man. Fat Kevin Love back in the day. Anyway, moving on to another one and done guy coming out of USC was OJ Mayo. Now, OJ Mayo, even though he came out after his freshman year, he was a little older than some of the other freshmen coming out. But even saying that, he was very highly touted in high school, basically donned as the next LeBron, blah, blah, blah. He's supposed to be that guy. In Memphis, he did pretty good. He did decent. I don't think he lived up to the full billing of what people thought he could be, but he was, I say maybe he reached like 80% of what people thought he could be the first 2 or 3 years or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to put a percentage on it, but he did decent in Memphis. But man, the expectations on this man were to be great. He never even became an all-star. So Courtney Lee, some of you might think, oh, he's rated too high. He's a 75. You got him above Eric Gordon, Russell Westbrook, blah blah blah. But I mean, he's 22 years old, and we've got Eric Gordon and Russell Westbrook, who are both younger than this man. So, and this is the year he had a real good rookie year, playing on that Orlando Magic team with Dwight Howard. He was definitely a great piece to have playing defense on. I mean, he came in the NBA just playing defense right away, able to make plays right away. Um, but anyway, Eric Gordon. So Eric Gordon, he's 19 years old, has the same rating as Courtney Lee. Oh, matter of fact, just to let y'all know, these two are Indiana guys. I'm an Indiana guy. I'm from Indiana, Indianapolis. These guys both from there. So Eric Gordon, one and done guy coming out of Indiana University, had a lot of potential at this time. I mean, he basically could have been a franchise guy, so everybody thought he was gonna, evolve into that. But really, injuries took things from him over the course of his career. But back in the day, him and Blake were starting to form a tandem, and you can kind of see like, dang, this is when the Clippers still sucked. I mean, the Clippers sucked for so long. People forget that, basically with the coming of Blake Griffin, things started to change for the Clippers. But, well, maybe people don't forget, but the younger people don't really know. But anyway, back in the day, these guys were giving hope to the Clippers, but Eric Gordon and Blake Griffin. But yeah, moving on. Russell Westbrook coming out of UCLA. He didn't come out as a freshman. I think he came out as a sophomore. I really had no idea he was going to turn out to be the player he is today. The man has just got more athletic over time. I guess maybe because he made his body stronger over time, but I don't know. A real late bloomer. And, he averaged a triple-double. You guys know the story about Russ. Robin Lopez, brother of Brooke Lopez, one of the twins. He's more defensive-minded. Moving on. Jason Thompson, he's 74. Maybe some of you think, he shouldn't be here. But, yeah, he was 21 when he was drafted. I think the Kings drafted him. I remember he played for the Kings early in his career. They thought he might be able to, show some potential and develop into something bigger than what he did develop into. I think the Kings were just disappointed by his overall growth during his time there. But he's not a bad guy to pick up if he's still available in the draft. He'll be around. He's a rotational guy, basically. Goran Dragic, you guys should know. He showed some flashes early on in his career. He played behind Steve Nash, and basically the Suns were trying to make him the next Steve Nash, but that didn't pan out. But he became his own man. Anthony Morrow, I'm not going to talk about him. He's mostly just a shooter, and then later on in his career, he was still kept around on teams for shooting, but he wasn't necessarily a great shooter that he had been. So anyway, if you pick him up, just know he's probably not going to get that much better. He'll be pretty good at shooting, but I know his potential isn't that great on here, so he's not going to grow that much in terms of rating. JaVale McGee, low IQ, man. Very low IQ coming into the NBA. He could move, he was mobile, he was athletic, but very low IQ. And there was some time in Denver he could have been, that guy, but didn't pan out. Batum had some great years on defense. He could shoot. Nowadays he's been dealing with injuries and stuff, but back in the day, he was a nice piece to have. Gallinari could put the ball in the bucket. Darrell Arthur, just a rotational piece. Doesn't really do much of anything else other than come out onto the floor, provide a body, provide some energy. He can do a little something every now and then, but Bayless, decent guy. I'm not going to go in too much on him. Marreese Speights completely evolved his game. Big guy coming into the league, low post type guy. Definitely stretched the limits of his range by adding a 3-pointer to his game. So George Hill coming out of IUPUI, played for the Spurs early in his career, came from a small school, so you know the Spurs were really out there scouting. Like, I mean, he was a very exciting player before coming to Indiana, and even in Indiana, he was a very solid player. But on the Spurs, I mean, he had some nice little clutch moments. DeAndre Jordan is DeAndre Jordan. I mean, his rookie year, he wasn't the DeAndre, the DJ that we know, but he had all the tools. Hickson, I'm not going to talk about him. He was okay for spurts in his career, but yeah, it is what it is. I see, Omer, I'm not going to say anything. Serge Ibaka, he didn't play the first year after getting drafted. He came over 1 year after being drafted. When the Thunder went to the finals, I mean, around that time, he had developed into a very good shot blocking power forward. So that was before he started stepping out and trying to shoot threes all the time, stuff like that. I remember what did he do? He participated in the dunk contest one time, called him Air Congo, Serge Ibaka. Mario Chalmers, he's all the way down here. His team won the national championship against Derrick Rose's Memphis team. Mario Chalmers, he's had a pretty long, decent career in the NBA. Alexis Ajinka, I know he's played for Charlotte for a long time. I never really thought that much about his game. I mean, I don't even know what to say about him. Kosta Koufos, I believe he went to Ohio State. Yeah, he did. There was a time was he playing for Memphis? I believe that's when he really started getting looks and like people were like, oh, okay, he's decent, but he never became anything like a full-time starter or anything like that. So we're gonna move on. I'm not gonna do anything on him. Roy Hibbert. I mean, this was a guy. I can't even remember when he stopped playing basketball, but I remember watching him. Oh man, my phone's ringing. All right, so I'll tell you what, guys. I'm gonna have to pause the video